Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, entertainment lawyer John Mason joins us. He's represented everybody from Brian Wilson to Shakira, and he's got a new book called Crazy Lucky. He's here for the whole show, in fact 2 shows, on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
Rev it up during the $250,000 Cash and Wheels Guaranteed giveaways at Carson Valley Inn. Thousands in cash and free play every Thursday and Saturday. Drive away with a 2025 Ford Bronco or $45,000 guaranteed. Rev it up at the Carson Valley Inn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we are absolutely delighted, and I mean delighted, to welcome back to the program John Mason, the entertainment lawyer, which is hardly describing your incredible career that goes back more than 40 years in the entertainment business. Pleasure to have you back, sir.
Thanks, Sam. It's great to be back. It's great to see you.
Well, I'm looking at your backdrop here, and it's gold records, platinum records. I mean, you've had this unbelievable history stretching back to the Beach Boys and Brian Wilson, all the way to Shakira today, and everybody in between, and we'll hit some of these stars along the way. But I wanted to talk about, and your book is called Crazy Lucky, and I bought the book, I read the book. It is a fabulous book, and as I told you the other day on the phone, my only complaint is it's not long enough. So part 2, please get busy on writing that. But I want to start out with this, which is, you know, Clive Davis started out as an attorney, legendary music man, and discovered that he had an ear for music and developed this incredible career that's still going. You started out as a musician playing with the Beach Boys back in the day, and then decided that your desire in business was to be an entertainment lawyer. What made that transition for you?
A lot of things, Sam, but I wasn't thrilled with the musician life. I wasn't really excited about being up all night and trying to get up in the morning and have a regular day. And I also found with the success that we had, we never felt like we got paid fairly, and we signed contracts that I think could have been better. I had to file union claims against promoters that didn't pay us. So I felt a real affinity for getting on the talent legal side, representing talent, making the business more fair for the people that have the talent.
And who was your first major client that we would recognize?
I think Creedence Clearwater Revival probably, and chronologically, followed by Cat Stevens and Olivia Newton-John, all that in that 1972, 1973 time period.
And that's an incredible lineup, and especially considering where they were in their careers at that time.
It was a good start. I'm very, very excited that that happened.
You know, when you talk to doctors, for example, they want to deal in the business of medicine. They're not real keen on getting involved in the personal lives of their clients, as it were. I would figure that entertainment lawyers would be the same. You're all about business, but you're not necessarily involved in the personal lives. You flipped that model on its head. Why did you think it was a good idea to not just be the legal representative, but also be personally involved with these entertainers?
It's passion, Sam, passion. I'm very passionate about my clients. I've made it my practice to have a very limited number, maybe 10 or 12 clients, as opposed to most lawyers and most law firms, and they want to have 30, 40, 50 clients, bill by the hour, and just do what you're asked to do. I've felt a lot better being a guide to guide my clients through the crazy forest that we call show business.
When you first started down the path of entertainment lawyer, did you ever dream that it would get this big?
No, I really didn't think about it that way. My first goal, and I think I mentioned this in my book, my first goal was just to get a job and learn how to be an entertainment lawyer. And then I learned that being an entertainment lawyer isn't enough. You have to have clients, and you got to get the clients. And so I didn't think early on that my practice would evolve into such a representation of icons.
Yes, and the book is literally full of the biggest names in show business. And you're holding up the book. I like, see, Emma the promoter, crazy lucky is the
Oh
book.
man, you know me.
Yeah, and as I said, it is a terrific read, and it's available on Amazon, and well worth getting involved. Some of the characters that you represented and became involved with their families, for example, Quincy Jones. And one of the reasons I bring up Quincy Jones first was, now your dad was a butcher in a butcher shop. Quincy Jones was so poor, because I read his book, that when he and his brother started out, they were so poor they were living in this hovel where they were actually eating rats to survive. What a career arc from that beginning to where he became. What was your relationship like with Quincy Jones?
Brother. He was my big brother. As much of an age difference as we had, I think it was 15 years. We bonded. We had breakfast together all the time. He's just, you know what his middle name is? Delight. Quincy Delight Jones, and he was a delight. And sadly, he passed away last December. I had already finished the book and turned it in. I think it came out in June, but I was calling Quincy until a couple of months before he died, just to say hello, just to say, Q, what's going on? Well, for him to say what's going on would be a lot because he was so busy. Just a great guy.
And, went from every direction, from the Sinatra era. I mean, well, he broke into, as you well know, he broke into the music business as a kid. In fact, the first orchestra he wanted to go out with, the wife of the orchestra leader wouldn't let him go out because he was too young to go on the road. Wrote charts for Frank Sinatra, and then ends up producing the Michael Jackson albums that are the best-selling albums ever.
That's true.
Did you watch that progression, and what did you think?
He's amazing. I did watch the progression. I first saw Quincy as the conductor for the Count Basie Orchestra with Sinatra at the Sands in Las Vegas, 1962, I think, 64, somewhere in there. And I couldn't believe that guy had written those charts that the Basie Orchestra was playing. And there he was standing right next to Frank Sinatra and conducting, and awesome. as his career evolved, he produced the big hits by Leslie Gore, You Don't Own Me, It's My Party, and became the first black record executive to have any responsibility, and then started his own companies, and of course produced Michael Jackson. And he's a producer on Color Purple, the movie. Just a genius.
Yes, to say the least. And, you know, one thing that I noted in your book that I really applaud you for, because you and I both know that when troubles occur in the entertainment business, whether it's music, film, news, whatever it might be, if there's a problem, everybody runs. Nobody wants to be around there. You find out at that point in your career who your friends are. I've been there. I'm sure you at times have been there. And you wrote about Michael Jackson in beautiful terms in the book. And you also noted that in your dealings with him, you did not see or feel any of the negativity that was being promoted by the news media and people who were going after him. And I applaud you for that, because that was one of the things that kind of really bothered me at that time, was that nobody would come out and defend Jackson. Nobody would say, whoa. And yet, if you look at the documentaries that were done on Michael Jackson, This Is It and others, you see a guy who isn't just that character, but is working his butt off, has had all these incredible leads from old movies that he characterized into his videos. I mean, I don't know, man. It just seems to me that there were people that were seeking vast amounts of money in lawsuits, but weren't really actually based in the reality. What's your take on that?
Michael, who obviously is one of the most talented artists ever, and I put him in the category of a great songwriter as well as a performing artist and a singer. But Michael evolved. The Michael that I worked with and that I talk about in the book was yet to become a superstar. When we started with the Jacksons, when I started with the Jacksons, it's funny because all the Jacksons, including Michael, came to every meeting, and Joe and Catherine and Latoya and Rebby and Janet all came to these meetings in my office. But Michael was really, really kind and considerate. Always called me Mr. Mason, never John, which is unusual, I think, because I'm pretty amiable with clients. But what happened after Michael became the biggest star in the world is an evolution of a character that he created. Because if you even went back to The Wiz, Michael could be a character. He could create a character. I think what happened with Michael, and as you say, I have nothing negative to say about Michael, but he evolved into a character that he created, and all the parts that he was playing were his creation. So I don't feel like he himself was anything like what he was characterized at the end, but I do feel that he got caught up in being Michael Jackson, and it overtook him and his life.
Well, I think also that, after the fact, after his passing, all these lawsuits went away. And yet at the same time, the estate has made nothing but money. So if there were a case to be made, then surely there would have been a case. And there's been zero, except for the fact that the estate continues to make millions and millions of dollars. So I'll leave it there. But I just want to applaud you for being one of the few people in the entertainment industry that actually has come out and said, this is what I saw, and it doesn't relate to what I saw in the news media. So I thank you for that. The music business has changed so much in the last few years with the advent of streaming. And the record companies have gotten their great desire, which is that very rarely now do people go out, even though albums are coming back and CDs are still available, but they're a tiny portion of the business. Streaming is the business. But it allows the record companies to control the content, and the same for the movie industry. Isn't that a dream come true for them?
Well, it is, because they're controlling distribution and exploitation in film, of course, they used to own theaters, and then it was required that they not own the theaters. There was RKO theaters and Paramount theaters. But now they are major stockholders, for example, in Spotify. They're big time in streaming, and they are controlling the universe of what's available. Fortunately, they don't control the universe of what we want to hear, because with streaming, you can make your choice. But it's a very different business today. And even though it looks like artists don't make enough money from streaming, there's still a lot of money to be made. There's still money paid from BMI and ASCAP for performances on terrestrial radio and streaming. If you can get, sounds so crazy now, you get 1 billion streams and you get some good money. I wouldn't want it to have been this way when I started. It's very complicated, but you know the old saying, it is what it is.
Yeah, to say the least. But I mean, hasn't it made the job of folks like yourself that much more complicated that, record companies and movie studios have always had interesting accounting procedures that haven't always, for those listening to audio only, John just rolled his eyes, but they've always had interesting accounting procedures. And this is just another way that the artists, perhaps will not get paid unless they have somebody of your caliber representing them.
Well, it's laughing because fortunately for me and the people that have come after me, it's always been true that artists won't be paid fairly unless they have strong advocates that know where the money is hidden, right? You know how to find it, dig it up, and make sure it goes in their pockets.
Yeah, to say the least. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back more with entertainment attorney John Mason. He's a legend, folks, right after this timeout.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up to date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, the book is Crazy Lucky. The author is entertainment lawyer John Mason. And thoroughly enjoying this conversation. So you work with the Estefans, Miami Sound Machine. Huge success, obviously. And then they discover this little gal who's got a little bit of talent, Shakira. Can you believe your luck that you get to be involved not only with the Estefans, but now this another giant that follows them?
Well, that's why I called the book Crazy Lucky. I was crazy lucky to meet Gloria and Emilio. And when I met with Gloria and Emilio the first time, their office was in their garage. And the brother, sister-in-law, mother, everybody was there. Everybody was filling boxes with merchandise, and that evolved. Of course, Gloria is an incredible songwriter and artist, and Emilio a brilliant producer. And when Emilio called and said, "John, I've just met one of the most talented artists I've ever heard. Who is that?" And he said, "Shakira." I'm going, "Well, what's her last name, Emilio?" "No, it's just Shakira. That's who she is, and you got to come and meet her." So, yeah, I was able to meet Shakira and work with her when she really couldn't speak English. She'd had the 4 or 5 albums in Spanish. She's from Colombia, and she just developed and developed and developed. And when I was talking about Michael Jackson and the evolution, Shakira has evolved into one of the greatest performers in the world today. And of course, her music is heard all over the world. She's an international superstar.
And okay, so one of the benefits, or I don't know if you want to call it really a benefit, but one of the benefits I would say is that now these entertainers, to make up for the revenue losses that are going because of streaming, are now playing these giant concerts. Not that there weren't giant concerts before. I mean, Wembley Stadium in London had 100,000 capacity years ago, but now it's becoming normal to see entertainers going around the country and around the world playing 65,000 plus. Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas has that kind of number. How, with your musician background, do you feel about that? Going from the intimate Las Vegas Sands with Count Basie and Frank Sinatra to 65,000 at Allegiant Stadium, for example?
What a great question. Yeah, the Sands where Frank Sinatra and Quincy Jones was 285 seats. Uh, I saw, and this is directly in response to your question, but I saw the Beatles in the Hollywood Bowl, and I also saw the Beatles in Dodger Stadium. There's no comparison to a smaller venue and an arena. If I think about artists, including Shakira, doing arena shows because that's the only way all the fans can see them, I think it's great. If I think about it from, well, you can make $500,000, $1 million, actually $20 million doing one show, and if that's why you're doing it, it's a shame. Um, we have a stadium here in Nashville where I live, Nissan Stadium, where the Titans play. I've never gone to a concert there. It's just too much. You see a person that you love like a stick figure, and the sound system isn't geared to the best uh, audible experience you want. So you're not going to see the artist and you're not going to hear them, and you end up watching it on a TV screen, giant screen, right? We have those now. So I think it's a shame that artists still do stadiums. Paul McCartney's playing in Nashville in a couple of months, and he's playing in the hockey arena, right? So there'd be about 18,000 seats. I wish artists would be focused on that size venue and not on the 65,000 seat venues. It's just too hard to hear, too hard to see.
All right, let's take another break and we'll be right back. As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm attorney Warren Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
Fantastic cocktails and delicious food.
It's a good time to eat.
Over 500 hot slots, plus electronic table games.
It's a good time to play.
Player rewards and big-time jackpots.
It's a good time to win.
Ooh, your good times are tamarack.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're talking to the author of Crazy Lucky, entertainment lawyer John Mason, an incredible career. Look, I've got so much more to talk to you about, and we're not going to get it all into the show. So do you have time to stick around and do another show with me?
I can hang out with you anytime, Sam.
All right, my friend. We'll be right back with part 2 after this timeout.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org. For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the air conditioning back on today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why sweat for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your air conditioning fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
You can always watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. Thanks for watching and listening.